Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the power of green leaves. Okay. A few months back I had a question for Spirit as I was walking through the forest. I asked what could heal cancer. And the very next day I had these huge leaves appear in my vehicle. And I didn't quite understand what it meant at the time. I said, Spirit, are you asking me or telling me that I should just go to random trees and pick off the leaves and I could just eat them, And as the day progressed, I got further clarification on what it was that was trying to be conveyed to me. So I realized that I hadn't been eating much spinach and or kale. So I said, okay, I'm gonna reintroduce that to my diet. So I did. Okay. And for the past 3 to 4 months, I've been eating kale and spinach, and I've actually grown to really love it and to eat it raw, and during that time I was also taking, I'm trying to think, did I have any green teas? I'm trying to think. I know I was doing a lot of herbal teas, but let me see. Oh yeah, okay, I had a yerba mate. Yerba mate, you guys got to check that out. That's a really great green leaf tea. It's from the Brazilian rainforest, okay? It's like a well-rounded tea, deals with mental clarity, metabolism, elimination, energy, all of that, and that's why I had chose it over, green tea, because I heard it was superior to green tea. So I had my yerba mate that I was dealing with. I think that was the only green that I had as a tea. So I was able to manifest a huge change. I was facing hair loss, right? As well as my skin was like just flushed and pale, right? And the last 3 months, right, I've been able to reverse all of these things, okay? I just took out my braids, right? And I redid them. And my hair was, it was like I never even, I had cut it off, number one. And then like the center of my head was starting to lose hair. But when I took out my braids, my hair was like, it never left anywhere. Like it was a total transformation. It was fully grown back, as well as my eyelashes has grown back. And even the hair on my body, like I'm not a hairy girl, and literally like I'm super hairy now. So that's the power of leafy greens, right? So yesterday I realized that I'm getting low on my teas. Okay. So I go in the store and I'm going for my regulars. Okay. What Spirit has been telling me to use and to deal with for healing is the flower as well as the leaves, and then mushrooms as well. But today we're talking about the greens. So I'm getting my little kit together, and do y'all know I wound up walking out of there with 10 teas. I only went in there to get a couple, but then I said, oh, this is what you've been telling me, Spirit. I began to look at all the other teas that I used to take back in the day that I would just take randomly, you know what I mean? It's like when you get into this stuff, you have an understanding that these things help you, and they're good for you, and you'll take them and use them. Like I've been doing teas for years, I've been into health consciousness for years, but then it's like, you get like a full understanding. It's like when you in a field of study and you understand it initially, but as you begin to work and deal with these things on a consistent basis, you get more revelation, and you really begin to understand, the power of these herbs. Like I knew they were powerful before, but now I know like I can't live without them. Like there is no time in my life where I should never not have a green leaf tea in my cabinet for daily wellness. So I remembered that I seen I seen moringa tea, I seen sencha tea, green tea, matcha, and I said, oh, and when I looked at the back of the box, these were leaves. I said, this is what Spirit was talking about. So I had been eating kale and eating spinach, right? But for the spiritual ones, for us spiritual ones in particular, as we grow in light, we need higher nutrition. The old stuff we used to eat, it don't do nothing for us. And listen, I was eating salads for years, you know what I mean? And still struggling with my health, not feeling that surge of energy that you expected that you expect to feel when you're eating, more whole foods and more fruits and vegetables. So for the chosen, I believe, like, you go through a phase where you can eat fruits, you can eat your vegetables, and you see transformation. But as you grow in light, it comes time where you constantly need to go up the ladder in your nutrition. So even with the kale that I'm eating and having it as a salad, that's great. And I believe it's done wonders. But Spirit was saying, you need to have these powders and these teas. This is high level superfood nutrition. So have a variety of them because they all do different things. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've seen transformation in the last 3 to 4 months from just doing one green tea. So imagine now if I have an arsenal of green teas that do a variety of different things. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it, y'all. I done went and got 10 of them. So I'm excited to see my transformation in the next 3 months from adding a variety of them, and I'm going to give you an update on them to tell you what has changed in my life since incorporating so many. Okay. Another thing that I was doing too, these last 3 months is I was adding, cause Spirit just kept on putting it on my path. I seen, like I would go to the grocery store and inside of the cart, there'd be like a bundle of parsley or cilantro in it. So if you're out there and you're eating these, romaine lettuce salads, you know what I mean? Add some of those herbs. Go get you a pack of the cilantro, the dill, the rosemary, any of those, especially the leafy green ones, and add them to your salads. That's going to take your salad up a notch, because a salad, it ain't high enough for the spirituals. We have to be having, we need that green power. We have to go higher to those superfoods. So make sure if you do love your salad, right? Just make sure that you are adding these superfoods, right? Also now, as I get this revelation, right? So I go in there and I stock up on a whole bunch of these different teas that I've taken in the past. So I know their benefits. I've had transformation with green tea before, and with matcha and toasty. Like, I've experienced them all before, but now I'm realizing to have that variety, I'm really looking forward to seeing the kind of change that will happen in my life. So, so I got those, and then I went for my nightly walk. So as I'm going for my nightly walk, there's a car parked, and I smell some strong ass marijuana. And it smelled good too. I said, okay. I said, yes, Spirit. Spirit had been telling me for a long time. Like in meditations, I would always see the marijuana plant all the time, and even back in 2020, when I was thinking about getting a little hemp business, right? I had ordered some hemp from California, from a California farm, and I didn't want to smoke it, right? Because it just didn't feel right to me. And I'm not a smoker, you know what I mean? So I remember asking Spirit during that time, what do I do with it? And I made a tea. But I believe during that time, I had probably left the marijuana sitting in the water for way too long, and it was too potent and too powerful. What I'm realizing is with most of these green teas, these green leaf teas, they're only 3 to 5 minutes for soaking, right? Opposed to like the plants, or the, not the plants, the flowers or the herbs, they're more like 10 to 15 minutes steep in cover. But with the greens, they're 3 to 5 minutes. So now I'm like, okay. I said, Spirit, now you know I don't smoke. What am I gonna do with marijuana? I know you've been showing it to me, and I know that the Jamaicans, the Rastas, they say don't smoke it. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people, obviously for your lungs and stuff, it's not a healthy option. So how am I gonna use marijuana, Lord? Right? So the Lord said, well, you're gonna make a tea. Like it's a herb, just like the green tea. It's an herb. It's a leaf. You're gonna brew it. So I said, okay. And I said, well, how am I gonna brew it? How long? Spirit said, check the boxes of all those green leaf teas. 3 to 5 minutes. So that marijuana, now I can tell you that marijuana is powerful, because I used to smoke it probably when I was a teen, 17, 18, 19. I used to smoke a lot of it, you know what I mean? And that was before they had all this exotic stuff. We called it Reggie's back then, you know what I mean? The stuff with the seeds in it, and we'd be high as a kite, And I remember during that time, I got transformed too. I remember, marijuana, even though I had a crazy appetite during that time, I remember we used to eat, we get the munchies and we fuck up some shit, but during that time, I'm assuming, just from my experience, not assuming, I'm going to say I know from my experience with marijuana, from taking it and smoking it, it had me slim as hell. Like, I ain't have no weight problems. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't have no bowel problems. It was easy to release during that time. That's one thing I know. And it was like, and it was just very, very an outgoing type of drug. So obviously people that do use it now, they use it for anxiety and stuff like that, which is obviously good. But I'm sure you can still get those effects if you don't smoke it, if you brew it. So yeah. So those of you who might have been on the fence about marijuana or have so much to say about marijuana, I've never talked bad about marijuana. I just knew I didn't want to smoke it anymore. And I knew I didn't like the way it felt when I tried in recent years to smoke it. You know, I had tried, probably the last time I tried to smoke some weed was maybe 7 years ago, you know, and 7 or 8 years ago. And I was paranoid. I didn't like the way it felt. And then like all the sensations in my bodies was like crazy. Like all my nerves was like, it was just crazy. I could feel every single cell in my body. And I was like, I don't want this. I don't like the way this feels. You know what I mean? And then it made me like super hungry. So I was like, But we have a new way to apply it now, and that would be through a tea. And obviously, I know since I smoke weed, I mean, weed has been revolutionized. You know what I mean? People talk about brownies, edibles. I ain't never get into none of those things. But obviously, it's out there. I'm not sure how healthy those are. But if we probably can get us some hemp seeds or get us some weed seeds, you know what I mean, and grow our own marijuana or find a source where we can get clean, Reggie, you know what I mean? It probably can do some amazing things for us. Not that it will do some amazing things for you. That's why I'm sharing it with you. So this is a message just to remind you, if the spirituals, if you're out there, you're under attack, you know what I mean, which you should be when you go high up in the spirit, because the whole point, the whole point of you gaining light, when you gain light, you are dispelling darkness, and darkness has a problem with it because it's reigned and ruled for so long. So you will be under attack. So you're going to need these greens to help unlock. Also, when I used to get visions of the marijuana plant, I would get visions of those when my third eye was really, really activated. So the marijuana is connected to the third eye as well. Okay. So any of you who are battling witchcraft and spiritual wickedness, then marijuana is going to help you to open your third eye, keep it open, and allow you to see what is attacking you and what's going on in the spirit, right? Obviously, people use psychedelics and stuff like that, but I don't have any knowledge or information on that, so I ain't getting into that. You know what I mean? I'm just going to give you exactly what has come to me through spirit. And the marijuana is good for engaging the spiritual world. And like I said, we are not smoking it. We are using it as a tea. Now, if you're already smoking, that's your thing, then so be it. Because I do know that when I used to smoke it, or that time when I smoked it 7, 8 years ago, I remember I was having epiphanies after epiphany. My intuition was on like it was nobody's business. I remember sitting there for like a couple hours and I was just like in awe of the things that was coming up out of my head. You know what I mean? So for those of you who do smoke, then, you know, continue to do that. And I hope that it keeps you focused and in tune, you know, but for those of us who haven't smoked it in years or never smoked it, then yeah, the tea would be the way to go. Definitely to keep you sharp and keep you dreaming and keep you having visions and knowing what's going on around you. Okay, so we need these greens also just to keep us in harmony and balance, because these greens do a real good job of keeping us integrated, keeping the mind, body, and soul intact, intertwined, and balanced. So not imbalance, keep us in balance. Yes. Okay, I got to be careful with my words. I want to make sure they come across clear in this video, because since Spirit has guided me to create a channel, I've been having an attack on my throat chakra. I mean, the last couple of months, I mean, I can't, it's like I'm saying, like I be saying stuff and the wrong words is coming out. I mean, it's been crazy. It's obvious that there's an attack on my throat chakra, you know, but one way or the other, I'm working on that. I'm going to make sure that I exercise it as much as possible, because I haven't been active on the channel since I've created it, you know, as much as I was told that I need to be. I've been letting this warfare, you know, slow me down, but it's my obligation to make sure that I come to you guys every day with something, because there's always something for me to pour out. you know, being almost 38 years on this planet, there's something that I have to offer and something that I should be sharing. What else? So yeah, so these greens are for harmony, for mental clarity, for the third eye, and for, I had one more thing it's for, and just for overall health, you know, and for healing, you know, so to get your body back to where it needs to be. You know what I mean? As you go up in light, you need different and you need new fuel. You need a high grade of fuel. That old regular gas that you be putting in your body is going to have you laggy, you know, and have you unhealthy, having you not working the way you need to be working. So you got to upgrade to these greens, okay? And one other thing that I can say is that over the years, I took green supplements. You know what I mean? I would not that much, but I remember a time of doing it and I had benefits from it. But one thing that Spirit has shown me, the best thing that you could do is get everything in its natural form. You don't want nothing that's been in that laboratory, because with that, you can get contaminations, and stuff just don't be right. That's been my experience. If you can get the whole plant, that's the best way to go. Get it in these tea forms. That's the best route to go about it. You don't want it mixed with nothing synthetic or nothing. You want the raw, clean, natural thing so it can do what it need to do. So for the spirituals, the chosen who are taking supplements and you not really seeing that surge or that change that you need to throw those supplements in the trash. Those supplements are not natural. They are supplements, okay? We need, as the chosen, natural argon energy. So go out and get you the fresh greens, okay? Incorporate that kale, that spinach, eat it every day. I'm telling you, I never knew I could eat raw kale the way I've been eating raw kale, and I love it and I enjoy it. Trader Joe's making amazing salad with kale, some organic chicken, and some Parmesan cheese. You know, and they have like a dressing, but I don't like the dressing, and I believe that's where all the calories is for it, so I don't use the dressing. I just eat it raw, and they have some croutons in it, and it's amazing, okay? I can eat those. Those are delicious, and they're very filling. One little carton for about $7 is very, very filling. So I encourage you guys to definitely switch out your iceberg lettuce for your kale and spinach, okay? It's a must, okay? As well as adding those fresh herbs that are in the grocery store, the cilantro, the parsley, the basil, the rosemary, and all those things. Add those to your diet. Consume them, okay? And then with your spiritual baths, you need to also, you know, be using these green leaves for spiritual bath, for cleansing, for healing. Okay, but that's another video for another time. I just want to talk about the temple for now. Just keeping the temple in homeostasis during these times of warfare. Okay, that is my message, and I hope it was clear and that you activate and you don't just you look at this as a video that's been created. I expect you guys, after watching this video, to go to the store and go buy the things that you need. And I promise you, you will feel the difference. You will feel better. Those attacks will lessen because your vibration will be high. You'll be vibrating higher. So those attacks that used to be able to penetrate you will no longer be able to penetrate you because you're vibrating high. But you got to stay consistent with this stuff. Okay? The key is consistency. It got to become a way of life. You can't just do it. You know, you can't be in it for just 3 months and then you see a change and then you go back to doing stuff that you know you ain't supposed to be doing, which I've been doing. I ain't going to tell you something that I ain't talking to myself about, because being that I've seen change, you know what I mean? It's like after I come off this off the fast, this warfare is so heavy. It's like all of a sudden I want to eat things that I don't even normally eat. Because before, like I told you, I still was eating healthy, but I just wasn't eating the high nutrition that I needed. But I still be eating healthy. But now it's like I don't even want to eat healthy. My daughter wants McDonald's now. Before, I could take her to any of these fast food places and feed her, and I would not touch the stuff. But now I'm like, oh, let me get a fry. Let me get this. And in the dream, I had seen myself just picking up fries constantly. And literally that's what's been happening in my reality. Picking up a fry here and there. Okay? And sure enough, I'm feeling the effects of taking a fry here and there. That stuff is low vibrational and it hurts the body. You know, and the thing is that I was doing more of that, than more of the greens. So, and I've been doing sugar. a whole bunch of good cookies I done found in Sprouts. Stay away from them cookies, okay? So I need to reset myself, right? Because I see that I'm trickling and I'm spiraling out of control, as you guys, because this is a war. So everywhere we go, we see the deliciousness of the fake food, the stuff that no longer serves us. So of course we're going to be tempted until we get to a point where we can overcome it. So whenever you see yourself spiraling, it's time to do a fast and it's time to reset so that you can get back on track. The key with all of this is, yes, you may fall off of the bike, right? We're riding a bike. We're learning how to ride a bike. We're learning how to be spiritual and be in a spiritual world and have power. So we're learning. So just like the kid with the training wheels on, once we take them off, they're going to fall down a couple of times. We're going to fall down. After coming off these victorious fasts, we're going to fall down. But it's all about us getting back up, just constantly getting back up and not torturing yourself about it. When you see yourself spiraling out of control, go back and press the reset button and get back to it. And just keep getting knowledge and increasing your arsenal. So hopefully this was a tool to increase your arsenal, to increase your faith, to heal your temple, and to raise your vibrations. Okay? With that being said, peace.